Marky Worthington Podcast all day.
All day.
Dream by night.
Don't buy me a drink. Just give me $10.
All day.
Go down to the strip club with your floppy disk and turn it into a hard drive.
Yeah, right. You'll get fucking thrown out by Big Tony.
We're here to name names and make people feel more ashamed for shit that they're not proud of.
Don't blow it. Keep it simple. Count your money.
Oh, whatever it is.
Welcome to the Marky Worthington Comedy Podcast. We're getting up there, boys. We're nearly at 100. We're in the 90s now. We've got Jeff Shen and Cameron Rubens. Welcome to the show.
Back, baby.
You're back. Yeah, first time on the show, long time listener.
Yeah, first time on the show, long time listener. Yep.
This is my Oxfam child.
Yep.
Spies used to sponsor him $1 a day.
Now, you don't have money to sponsor Oxfam, you know?
He grew up. You didn't think he was going to live this long?
No, yeah, exactly.
Be able to get over here?
I just deposited $50 in the account. I thought that'll do until he goes.
Yeah.
And he made it over here somehow, and now wants more money.
Yeah.
Says I owe him support.
You only did it about 12 months ago, too. It just was just using an old picture to catfish you into thinking he was a young child.
I thought I was sponsoring a RSPCA dog.
Instead, you're just sponsoring a mad dog. How you doing?
I feel like you guys planned this inside joke for a while.
Well, if you're here on time, we wouldn't have had time to plan.
Got him.
No, Jeff wasn't actually too late, and he brought gifts. Cameron brought gifts, but he's like, nah, this is for later. I just went shopping before. Cameron walks in with a bag of shopping, and I was just like, mate, you didn't need to bring anything. He's like, no, I just went to the shops before this.
Yeah.
I'm going to take it when I leave. I'm like, oh, fair enough.
That's for me.
Do you see a sign out the front that says shopping storage, mate?
I thought you were like one of those Coles lockers, those automatic ones. I could just put it in and come back to it.
Yeah, but Jeff's got the pin to unlock it.
Yeah. He brought the wine.
Yeah. You did. Good job, mate. Thanks for bearing gifts. So this is we're up in the 90s. We got a couple of things. I remember early on in the episode, earlier in the one of the earlier episodes Cameron was on, and he's been on once since, and he messaged me to remind him to tell him a story, so we're going to save that for later, just putting that out there.
It rips.
Yeah. So that's our closing bit. Not often do you start by telling what your closing bit is.
Yeah.
Then it'll be a callback, technically. Part of the deal.
Oh, Jeff loves a callback.
That's a delayed callback.
Yeah, exactly. See, he's a comedy scholar.
What's a fucking instant callback?
Like, fucking don't wait 2 months, you know?
An instant callback is where, like, it's like where you announce the song like a musician. You know how they're like, here's a little song I wrote. This is about waiting at a bus stop, and it goes a little something like this. Oh. That's an instant callback because you just go straight into it, right? Have you ever noticed some comedians do that? Just like, here, I'll finish on this one. I'll tell you I do this. I'll tell you a story that happened to me a couple of weeks ago, and then I just fucking do it. There's no reason for me to intro that joke, but I feel like because I MC so much, sometimes I need to, like, introduce myself. Like, well, I don't need to. I just find that I do it.
Yeah. I get what you're saying.
Like, I want to hype the audience up for what's about to happen.
All three of the Potbelly.
Yeah, all three.
And fucking
that's
8 comedians just going nuts in the crowd.
Yeah, and the 3 people in the audience are like, fuck, these are some diehard comedy fans. And then one at a time they see him get on stage and they're like, fuck, they're actually just other comedians that are also mentally ill.
Yeah, when I was thinking about writing comedy, I was actually thinking, like, if you had, like, a really strong punchline, and you know it's really strong, you could almost go back to a few lines earlier to write something else to create that callback.
Yeah, that's the Dave Chappelle. Do you know about that?
No, I don't know.
So Dave Chappelle in one of his specials was like, I'm so good that I just have punchlines written on paper in a fishbowl and I just pull one out and write the joke for it. And he goes on to say, like, he pulls one out and it says, like, so I punched her in the pussy.
I remember this one.
And then he, like, goes on a full tangent. You don't even see it coming. And then he just fucking drops that as the punchline.
Yeah.
He's a fucking pro, dude.
Yeah, did he actually pick it out of the fishbowl on stage at the time?
No,
he already had it.
He tells that in the joke.
He tells it. He's so good that he doesn't need props. He can describe them. Like, that's something I realised. Like, there's been a few times that I've thought to myself, it'd be cool if I brought something in, like, to show as an example. Like, I had one about, like, the fucking wet wipe in the condom box, like, that looks like lube, but it's actually like a wet wipe that it's like...
Wet wipe, Jeff.
Okay.
Do you know what that is?
No, I don't need to know.
You ever been to KFC and they give you that
Yeah, I
thing
know,
to
I
watch?
know.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah.
that, but
Yeah.
only it's it's like
Hot on box, yeah.
water based.
Yeah.
This is more of an educational podcast for Jeff. He's about to learn. Some
No, no,
It was
no.
the only one
let
that
him finish.
listened.
Let him finish.
I've destroyed my audience by having him on the show because he might not listen to this episode because he was on it. This will have half as many views. It'll be one in
No, or it'll get double because he likes to watch himself.
yeah. Or he had to show someone else
Yeah,
when he
yeah.
was on a podcast. Yeah, I like that. Or like you'll either do that, or maybe you were the other listener, so this will get 0. Cameron's like, don't worry, I'm not the other listener.
I'm never there.
Yeah. Yeah, so I thought, because I used to actually bring that in, and that started because I didn't open mic via Zoom, and I was like, oh, this will be a fun thing to have on camera and show. But I forgot to fucking bring the thing into the Zoom with me, so I had to describe it, and it made me realize I could just do that on stage. I don't need to bring in props. You can just describe the thing, which is like you're saying, you didn't need to pull it out of the fishbowl. If you are good enough at describing shit, people don't need to see it. You've already painted a picture.
Because I feel like if you're bringing props, it would almost be a distraction from your actual comedy.
Depends how you use it, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like...
But like true, like just pure stand-up comedy, you wouldn't use props, yeah?
Well, what's pure stand-up comedy? That's a debate you could really get into.
Yeah.
Chris Martin, if you're listening, please tell us what actual stand fucking
Or
pure
character comedy, maybe.
Yeah.
Everyone will be doing character comedy in the next 8 years, and regular stand-up will be dead.
Yeah, exactly. He's the comedy scholar.
Yeah, he is fucking up.
Yeah, like he'll pull names out and I'll be like, I don't know who that is. And he's like, watch their fucking thing. And then like 4 years later, they're blowing up. Yeah. But yeah, that's something that I noticed. Like sometimes you can distract like you said, you can distract from the audience with a prop, which I find sometimes I need to address some like physical characteristics about myself.
Yeah.
So that they're not waiting for me to do it. It's like if you walk out with a guitar and don't play a song, the whole set, people are going to be like, play the song.
Yeah.
Like, that's what having a fucking beard and being a fat fuck
Yeah.
can do. Like, they're waiting for you to make... It's a bit like if you go out and you're wearing fucking like a rainbow flag tracksuit and you don't talk about Pride Month. They're going to be like, hey, was this all just... Was that planned? Or like, you got to kind of... either address it or the funny thing is not mentioning it.
If you get right to the end of your set and never do anything with it, or like just do what, like have one. If you take a guitar out there, never mention the guitar, never mention you're going to do a song, and just do a regular stand up and then walk off.
Yeah,
that's just as funny to me because people go, "What the fuck was the guitar for?" The guitar was there so you would say at the end, "What was the guitar for?"
Yeah,
that's the joke.
Yeah,
and I do enjoy that.
Yeah, I get it. I had a. I heard a story Bill Burr spoke about on his podcast, and he was saying that he was in the green room for a comedy gig, and one of the other comedians was a little person, and this was early on.
Canberra or Sydney?
No,
No.
The Bill Burr is...
Oh, no,
yeah,
US. No,
Yeah,
still thinking Bill Macon.
Yeah, no. No, he doesn't exist in the podcast
Yeah,
world. So he's not in the podcasting universe. It's
we talk about that off mic, Jeff.
Yeah.
Right? Stop bringing things off mic, on mic.
Oh, Jesus Christ, Jeff. Fucking hell, you can tell it's your first time on the show.
Yeah, well, actually is, yeah.
Be professional.
Maybe first and last time, yeah.
So we... I listened to the podcast and he was saying that he was talking to a little person and he said like, I'll give you $100 if you don't talk about being a little person. And he was like, yeah, I can do that. I've got plenty of material where I don't do that. So I like that as well, being an actual good comedian aside from the aesthetic. Like I'm trying to do more stuff about like stories and shit like that doesn't address the appearance because eventually that'll wear off and you just don't, if you don't have any like actual material, you got nothing to lean back on. It's a bit like, I noticed now Heath Franklin's doing a bunch of like uncharacter comedy.
Yeah.
It's just like,
new tour. What's it called? Out of character.
Out of character.
Yeah.
It's just like eventually you just get to the point where you, and some people, their personality can be a character. You look at, what's his fucking name?
Mitchell Wolfenden.
Lucis Aussie, whatever his fucking name is.
Frenchie.
Yeah, Frenchie and who's the other one from that same clique though? But yeah, but I can't remember. Anyway, it'll come to me in a second.
Alex Williamson.
Williamson, yeah, Shooter,
Yeah.
Alex Shooter Williamson. Like, his crowd is rough as guts, and it's like sometimes you just got to decide, like, do you want to stick with that crowd?
Yeah.
Like, there's not many people that have broken out of that crowd. Jim Jeffries is one that's kind of like sort of branched out a bit more. Like, he's doing a fucking TV show now. Like, I think
Yeah, the 1 in 100, that game show.
hosting a game show
hilarious.
is where you retire.
Yeah.
Like, it's either that or a cruise ship.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it was. He was in Australia during COVID and he's like, how do I earn some good money here?
Yeah.
Oh, I can just host a PG-rated TV show and film for like 6 hours a day and make bank.
Yeah.
And then as soon as COVID's over, I'll go back to America and just fucking rip into touring again.
Yeah.
Do whatever I want. It's like a perfect match, really.
Plus, he did his last Netflix special in his contract.
Yeah.
So the special he did when he was here in Australia was his last contractually obligated special for Netflix. So now he can go to any platform.
Yeah.
Fucking most people are just going onto YouTube, man.
Everyone's on YouTube. Man. It's it's just so easy. It's not dealing with anybody.
Yeah.
It's like the Dan Muggleton approach. You know the
Yeah,
tricks. He
worked
does
with him. He's been on the show.
Yeah, he does everything.
Friend of the show, Dan Muggleton.
I don't know the man, but he does.
I'm wearing this out of respect. If anyone wants
also
to know,
some Adidas on Jeffrey's feet.
I got the Adidas just out of
Well, I've got
out
a
of
range.
respect.
I've got Adidas, Nike, and fucking something else, just in case.
Is the
whoever we
jumper
mention.
the something else?
Yeah, that is the something else.
Okay,
Yeah.
'cause
He knows the brand. He just doesn't want to say
Nah,
it because
yeah.
it's worth too much money. He doesn't want to tell you how much money.
It's not a sports
he's,
brand, yeah.
he's conscious of the audio listeners.
Oh,
He
I see.
realised that there's visuals, there's audio. Most people, like Jeff, they're efficient. They just listen to the audio. They even do it times 1.5 so they can get through it quicker.
Do you think he likes the mystery of the
I've
listener
tried,
going
but-
something else? Ooh, what is something else?
I've tried 1.5. It's harder
It's harder.
for my level. It's harder, yeah.
To be fair,
And sometimes I don't mean to do it. Like,
Yeah, anyway.
if my sleeve,
No, you go.
let's go.
no, don't tell us
No,
about
I'm
more
saying,
visual
if my
shit.
sleeve touches my watch,
Yeah.
it just suddenly speeds up with my AirPods going. I was
Yeah.
like, what's happening?
Yeah.
Everyone's talking quicker.
Do you start moving quicker because you think the world is getting
yeah, he's
faster
got it.
around you?
No, not really.
He's not quite
Time
the
is not going
Flash.
faster.
He's
yeah.
just like the Flosh. He's just a little bit faster, not too much.
Yeah.
I've tried doing things fast, man. It takes the energy out of you. It's just, no.
Yeah, Dan Muggleton, just to finish on that, books everything himself.
Yeah.
No manager, no team behind him, does it and kills it.
Yep.
And the thing on that, for 3 months one time, I'd accidentally set my Spotify to play 1.5 at
Yeah.
the speed.
Yeah.
And I'd listen to all these fucking podcasts. I'm like, why is everyone talking so fast?
Yeah.
This is insane. For like 2 or 3 months, I was listening to this.
Fuck yeah.
And I'd be like, what is happening? What?
Yeah.
And I didn't realize you could set like a speed.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
sure.
And I was like, oh,
I do
damn.
it for like game tutorials. Like if I'm streaming a game and I get stuck on a bit, I'll like just quickly watch it real quick, like to get the idea. So I'm not kind of, I'm not like spoiling it too much.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
I'm just getting the basic layout of like, oh, you're meant to go into here because I play some like puzzle sort of horror games and
Yeah.
shit. And like when I'm streaming it, I don't want to be sitting there trying to work it out while people are watching.
Yeah.
One
You like games,
person's
Jeff?
watching.
You play games?
I used to, not these days.
What did you play? What did you like?
I had a PlayStation 2,
Yeah.
and I don't know, I played Grand Theft Auto,
Oh. How do you feel?
Three? Which
Tourism.
one? Which Grand Theft Auto?
Yeah,
I played
Vice.
three.
Four, and the one with the bird eye view, is that a 2?
No, it's the 4 was only after PS2, so it had to mean before.
Okay, so would have been
The bird's
Three.
eye view was like the OG Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
played that.
Pixelated.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was hard to play
Yeah, it was,
because we're not birds, That's very hard.
that's you fucking spitting knowledge today.
Here's one incredible thing about Jeff Shen, right? A very good comedian, but doesn't really understand most types of comedy.
I
like
don't.
just for like sarcasm, never gets it.
Yeah.
Never gets it. And here's a bit of insider knowledge, but I love to give this about Jeff. He said to me one time, he says this to me, he's like, you lie a lot on stage. Right? You lie a lot. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Everyone does. We're all doing it, brother. Just so you know. He's like, oh, I don't do that. And he tells this joke about mixing fuels. I wouldn't dare tell the joke. So one day I said to him, that joke, though, that's not real, obviously. He goes, no. My thing is, though, I can't start my set off with a lie. As long as I tell a truth at the start, then I can lie as much as I want. So I'm like, well, that's just lying. He's like, no, but you lie right from the first word.
You got to set the mood.
He's like, no, you got to win their trust with a truth.
Oh, my favorite part about that is I thought you were about to tell me that was true. That bit was true.
The mix of fuel.
Yeah. No. It's a bit like on Joey Diaz's podcast. He was talking about when he used to go out. If he came home with a black eye, his mum would say to him in Spanish, "Are you still hit?" And he'd be like, "What the fuck does that mean?" So what she means is, she explained it to him. If you get hit, you're hit. But if you hit back, now they're hit too. So if you come home without passing that hit on to someone else, you're still hit. So as long as you pass that hit on to someone else, you haven't come home hit. So what the point was is, don't come home still hit. Even if you got hit, as long as you pass it on to someone else, you're not bringing that hit home with you.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's similar when you have a bad set. You need to do a good set to recover from it.
Definitely.
I can't come home after a bomb. Even if
still bomb.
I'm still and the worst thing about Canberra stage time is you might not get another chance for a week.
Yeah. Sometimes 2 weeks.
Depending on where it lands.
That's right.
It's rough sometimes. It's definitely rough out there. And it's the worst. Having a bomb and then just having to go home and just sit in that for however the rest of the night, and you're just like, man, where did I go wrong there? I think, because whatever you write down, you're like, this is all right at least. I'm going to get some laughs here, and then you get no laughs, and you go, oh, okay, where can should I rewrite this? Should I just throw it away? Is there nothing here?
Yeah.
You got to try it on a different crowd though. I sometimes I'll do a bit and I'll be like, all right, that didn't work. My biggest problem is, and the hardest that it hits me if I don't do well, because I normally don't do too bad. Even if I don't do as well as I have, I get a couple of laughs these days, and I think that's because I pander to the fucking audience to try and get that hit. I'm like that dopamine hit of getting the laugh. If it starts to go down, I've got to fucking Flappy Bird. You got to bring it back up again.
Yeah.
But the hardest it hits me is if I plan on saying something, which I know is good, but I get tied up on doing crowd work or fucking stuck on a bit that doesn't land, and I keep trying to resus it on stage, and then I don't get time to do the bit which I know could work. So I'm going home not only did I do shit, I fucking didn't get the laugh I wanted, and I didn't try that new bit, which I think will be all right. So I'm kind of really hard on myself when I don't get a laugh, and I just double down on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what's worse than bombing and then go home feeling it is getting booed, then go home.
Tell that story, Jeff.
No.
Nah, come on, tell it.
I got booed for the first time ever. This is a few months ago, but it was just a innocuous. Comedies, just.
Let me set it up a little bit. I'm not going to say what the joke was, but it's a small room. There was probably 15 punters there and 8 comedians, and we're sitting up the back. And Jeff tells this joke.
Good ratio.
It's pretty fair. It's a fair whack.
Yeah, it used to be my best room until that night.
And he's told this joke, which he had told before and had done pretty well.
Oh, pretty well, yeah.
And
in basement.
When he hits the punchline. I mean, it's dead silent. Dead.
Well, no, before I even got to the punchline, that's the problem. It was before I even got to the punchline, it was just the setup.
That's right, yeah. He got to the middle of the setup.
Right, this one person, booed me. So all of a sudden, my setup was meant to be the setup. My setup wasn't meant to be the boo.
Yeah.
So you turn my setup into a boo. So whatever punchline I hit you with, it ain't gonna work because you just ruined my setup with a boo.
And then the only noise to break the silence was me and Fateh sitting up the back, just howling with laughter,
which I really appreciate.
We couldn't believe how funny we thought. But Jeff hits this boo, finishes the joke with no sound except for me and Fateh. We stop laughing, and then he just goes. So what about interest rates? Which
Go back to my safe stuff.
Nothing to do with the rest of his set. And
Go back to my safe
God.
Stuff,
and playing it safe with the interest
me and Fateh, we're in tears on the back.
But man, you know what?
Fateh is so good when it comes to giving the laugh. When
he's the best.
Yeah, he's good. And I think it's authentic, it's genuine.
Yeah, he loves it.
He loves it, man. I've not heard him sometimes while I'm on stage. I'll be watching the recording later, and I'm like, oh, that's why that went well, because Fateh like invoked laughter.
Yeah.
he does. Yeah,
He brings it into the room.
really appreciate it.
Yeah. Oh, but just real quick to Dan Muggleton.
Yeah, he's making a comeback.
Yeah, no, we're just gonna like sprinkle Dan Muggleton
Yeah.
for the show. It's the power of the Adidas. So it was good when I booked him, because it was as soon as they opened the lockdowns to the border. So when I announced that I'd been doing ticketed gigs at the Basement, was when I was able to get him literally within the week of them lifting it. We were just talking. I'm like, hey, if they lift it this week, would you like to do it? And we're just preemptively like, all right, if this is happening, you're on it. Like, and it was so much like build up, and then finally they lifted it, and he was straight down. He brought someone with him. And it fucking made the first ever ticketed gig at the Basement was headliner Dan Muggleton, and feature spot went to Tom Whitcomb. Yeah, who they're both fucking doing really well now. Like he's part of that fucking Comedy Unchained and shit as well, which is really cool. So yeah, it's like you said, it's fucking good to be able to deal with the comedian. Like the amount of bookers that I've dealt with to try and get comedians here, I realised that I wouldn't trust another booker to be in charge of my comedy career. Because although it's not big at the moment, I know that it's a bit of a control thing, but I know that if I fuck up, it's my fault. Whereas I've emailed plenty of promotion companies and bookers and stuff and never heard anything back, and I fucking understand that mine's a small operation. But if someone emails me and says, hey, can you do this thing, even if it's shit, because hey, this is my claim to fame. My comedy's getting to the point now where I can turn down some of the shit gigs.
Ooh, look out.
So
Beautiful.
I at least give the email back saying, like, unfortunately I don't have capacity for this one or whatever. So most of the time it's because I have another gig on or something, or I'm away or whatever. But it's I would like to think that if I had someone representing me, they would give that courtesy email of like, sorry, not available. Like, and I understand if it gets to a big scale, like you probably get hundreds of those a day, like for some of the big ones. But like, I actually take the time to reply to everyone at this level. So
Yeah, well, you think that booker could at least get in contact with their artist and be like, hey, I know we've already got this booked, but this thing's come in. I'm going to say no. Is that okay? And then you just be like, yeah, that's right. That's sweet.
How come you drink out of your own drink bottle like it's someone else's?
I don't wash it often.
Oh, see,
That is the filthiest fucking thing. Just wash it. What are you talking
I
about right
wash it,
now?
not often.
yeah.
Right?
That's how stingy he is. He doesn't want to pay for the water to
Did you-
I
wash
have
it.
6 bottles.
He's like, if
You
I'm,
have 6 bottles.
Per bottle is like, I don't know, 20, 15 bucks or something. I don't know.
do you
Can't
even
remember.
have a soda stream, or you just like
No,
the
it's
bottles?
gassed up. This is gassed up.
Oh, it's gassed
it's
up.
gassed
Yeah,
up.
yeah,
Yeah,
fuck
yeah.
yeah, dude.
Yeah, and
I
they
feel like-
make you renew one every 2-3 years because there's an expiry date on the bottle. Can you believe there's an
fuck.
expiry date on
What, the plastic
bottle?
start to leach into the
Or
water,
something
does
like
it?
that. It's
Yeah,
like, you can't.
that's what they reckon. You
withstand the
can't leave
pressure.
water bottles in your car because the
Yeah.
heat
Well,
lets
yeah.
the plastic
Yeah,
leach into
yeah,
it.
Yeah, true. Yep, a little bit of
But yeah, that
fucking
is
oral
right.
hygiene here on the show. Oh, let's get into our next section. So we do have a plan for today's show, and I have a segment now coming up. This is a quick section. It's going to be first opinions for you. Have you seen this television series Buffy from the 90s?
No, I have not.
Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Cameron and
Rips.
I go
Yeah,
into
rips.
it in depth in the previous episode.
Yeah.
So that has encouraged me to build this next section, which I choose. Welcome to Balcon's favourite game show. This is 6 Buffy characters where we choose who is the hottest. Both male and female from each show. Cameron, take it away. Just
Great.
turn that button on at the bottom there. Here we have.
I don't remember you doing this on your
Is
last
it-
podcast.
No, we talked about it a lot. We talked about we talked about Angel. We talked about Buffy.
So this is Buffy the Vampire Slayer playoff.
Dun dun dun.
Thank you, Canva. I earn my 120 a year for the subscription. First up, we have these 3 contestants.
Let's have a squeeze.
We have Xander, Spike, and Angel. Now, Jeff,
Yeah.
Jeff
I'm not
goes
going to go
first.
straight to you. I'm gonna let you look at that and think about
Yeah.
it for a second.
I already finished
Cameron,
thinking. I already know.
He's-
you choose your winner out of the first 3 contestants.
right. Well, let me just talk about him first.
Now, first of all, for the listeners, I have selected headshots from each one of the actors that plays them. We're using them by their Buffy screen names because it's Buffy specific. Also, these headshots were taken from the time of the filming of Buffy.
Yeah,
Because
for sure.
if we did it later, it would be a different.
Look at that beautiful bleached hair on Spike.
It's
That's
true representation
so-
of the 90s.
That's so 90s. So you got Xander, the lovable nerd, right? You got Spike. He's the bad boy of bad boys.
Yep.
The bad boys who comes good. And then you've got, look at that hunk of man that is Angel.
Yep.
Like, golly, what a love interest he was. So am I going 1, 2, 3 or just one?
Go 1, 2, 3. Let the listeners decide.
So we'll build up. So in third, for me personally.
Holy fuck, I just have an idea.
Go on. For what an idea this is.
Yeah, I got to get it right.
Did you?
Since there's 3,
Yeah.
let's do, instead of 1, 2, 3, we'll do marry, fuck, kill.
Okay, yeah, I could definitely do that. All right, well,
Marry, fuck, kill, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Xander, Spike, Angel.
well, I am going to fuck Angel.
Okay.
Right, undoubtedly. He's, once again, I know I said it last time, but I'll just repeat it. It's the way the shirt falls on him.
Sure.
It's just, that line has never got away out of my head, and I'm looking at him now in a beautiful leather jacket, and it's amazing. I am going to kill Xander.
Okay.
Because it's a bit boring for me. I
Sure.
just don't think, and I'm marrying Spike.
Cool. Yeah.
I want just madness in my life. I want him coming in and out. I don't know what time of the morning he's coming home, if he's coming home at all.
I
want chaos.
The best
I want
part
chaos.
about it is, like, the marriage won't have to last as long. If Spike's a smoker, at least you got a few years at the end of your life to, like, live out without a partner.
Well, he is a vampire, but
He is also, he's a vampire.
so he's out living. So
Shit.
I could just stake him in the heart, but if I ever have enough of him.
Exactly, and
Yeah.
then you are the new Slayer.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff, let's go.
Yeah.
Marry,
I'm
kill.
glad
Do it.
Cameron and I don't.
We're
think
not
alike,
talking.
so-
We're not talking. When we say fuck, we mean not bottom, top. So it's okay.
Yeah. Anyway, so I don't smoke, and I don't know. I just don't do. I can't do Spike.
You can't do? So kill Spike.
would be-
You're
yeah,
killing
bottom.
Spike?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, 'cause I don't smoke myself.
Golly.
I just
Golly.
not a fan of cigarettes.
You're so
I feel
efficient. You
like-
can't wait for smoking to take you
Yeah,
out.
You know? I feel like Angel means business. Just the look, just means business.
Oh, yeah.
I'd
He
go
was
Angel, Xander, Spike.
So which one's what?
It's a top Angel.
No, fuck, marry, kill. This is not 1, 2, 3.
Top Angel.
Jeff, come on!
Go on,
Fuck,
Jeff.
marry, kill, Jeff. That's what we're doing.
Jeff, if you don't want to play, it's okay.
No,
So Angel,
Yeah. What are you doing with Angel?
F him, and
He
Xander, I'm gonna marry him, and
so
I'm gonna drop Spike.
are you vampires?
Jeff,
Is that
we
what it
don't
is?
actually. We're just doing 1, 2, 3. So if you could just go,
You filthy animal, Jeff.
just chill, man, chill.
For starters, Angel is a businessman. Angel's got his own
This means
detective
business,
agency.
Yeah.
No, that's what Jeff means. He wants to fuck Angel out of his money.
No prenups. Jeff don't want no prenups.
No.
with
All
no
right.
vampire.
I'll tell you mine because I've been thinking about what
Yeah.
we do. It. Mate, it's not fair for the host not to give his answers.
Yeah.
I would. I'd go marry Xander. All right. I want a human marriage. I don't want no vampire shit. I have to kill Spike because he's like the more powerful one. I need to assert dominance. And yeah, I have to fuck Angel, which is also probably a bigger assertion of dominance. So I show dominance over Spike and Angel being the two vampires. Then I run off into the sunset with Xander. Humans win again.
Xander's boring, but he's got nothing going on in his life.
I like a pushover.
Oh, no.
Yeah, do you know what? I'd marry Xander first and make him watch me fuck Angel and kill Spike.
Well, I think he'd want to watch.
Probably.
To be fair, I think he's got huge cuck vibes.
Yeah,
Xander.
true, exactly. Yeah, and then
And I think he uses that pose and that position to watch.
yeah,
I think that's just how he stares at you. Just
Yeah.
with a slight smile, but not a huge smile.
brown eye to brown eye contact.
Yeah, and he's like,
yeah.
yeah, that's it.
All right, now
Cut
Jeff,
me.
this one might be slightly easier for you. We're going to tone it down a little bit. Now we've done the male cast. We're moving on to the female cast. Okay, let's move it on. Now remember, you work on your answers. We'll get Cameron's
I'll go
answers first. All right,
Because I've been thinking about this for 20 years is the thing.
this is fuck, marry, kill. Cast Buffy. 3 characters I've selected are Willow, Buffy, and Cordelia.
Oh, golly. Once again, Willow, the lovable nerd. Pre-American Pie, of course.
Yep.
You got Buffy. I mean, she's just the shit, wasn't she, Buffy?
Yeah.
And Cordelia. Or fucking smoke show, Cordelia.
Yep.
Ooh, you know, I would.
Now think about this,
go on.
character-wise.
Yeah.
We've done this all based on character.
Yeah.
I think that Cordelia's character makes it difficult for me to choose because her character is like so ditzy.
Yeah, she's a moron.
Yeah.
She's a moron. She was the hot moron.
Yep.
For sure.
All right.
So Willow's super smart. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to fuck Willow.
Yep.
For sure, because she gives me like that strong Catholic girl vibes.
Oh, this is the bit they're going to clip on the podcast. Misogynistic. Fucking, they won't talk about the bit. We'll talk about the male cast.
I'm definitely fucking Willow. She got strong Catholic. You know, remember the Catholic girls who went to all girls school till they were 16, and they would do wild shit. They didn't give a fuck.
Yep.
And then I'm going to kill Cordelia.
Yep.
She's a bit too dumb for me.
Okay.
And then I'm marrying Buffy. But I'm going to try and get in a polygamistic relationship marriage with Spike as well.
Oh,
and that way they're always constantly fighting over my love.
Yeah.
And I want total coverage. I want a Slayer and a vampire on my side.
Yeah,
I've really thought about this.
Maybe that's a good way to intermesh the two lines of contestants.
I could handle them both.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Coincidentally, I think that I've also chose subconsciously 3 that I also think would be perfect for each other. Like I reckon it always should have been Xander, Willow, Buffy, Angel, and then Cordelia was meant to be with Angel, but I reckon she's just out.
Yeah, she's gone.
Yeah, but then you've got like Spike and that other pommy vampire chick.
Yeah.
Like my mind as a kid was coupling them up and just being like, no, Willow, you're meant to be with fucking Xander. You're meant to be like, because there were so many love interests around the show, Jeff. They sort of mixed and matched a little bit.
That's why I always loved that Buffy and Angel had that, like, you knew they were meant to be together, but then they were, then they weren't, then they were off, and then Spike got thrown in the mix. I did love that about that show.
Yeah, that was a good... So you've done your answers. Jeff, who are you choosing? Fuck, marry, kill. Willow, Buffy, Cordelia.
Yep. Based on their personalities.
No. Well, Jeff doesn't want to get done like me. He's like, these beautiful women just based on their personalities.
Just based on their personality and...
From the show you have not seen.
I have not watched, but I've just heard what you guys talk about there. So, Buffy, Cordelia, Willow.
Who's fuck, marry, kill?
Yeah, in that order.
Oh, right. So fuck Buffy, marry Willow, kill Cordelia. That's what you're going.
Fuck yeah, I like that. That's a good answer, Jeff.
Yeah.
Good, safe one. And I would have to go. I have to go marry Willow. I've always thought that she was awesome, even in fucking American Pie band camp. Like that's when you first notice her as a character.
Yeah.
In that, but this is Buffy only. I have to kill Buffy, and I have to fuck Cordelia. Do you know why? Because everyone chooses Buffy, and I just had to be out of the
I
thing.
mean, look how beautiful Willow looks in that photo, though.
Yep.
Like, golly, she looks good there.
She's about to ask you if you're still coming home after you finish for the night. Like she waits for you. She looks at you with those adoring eyes every time she looks at you. She falls in love with you every time she looks at you.
Yeah. She
And you
pees on the floor when you come home like a happy dog.
Yeah, exactly. You have to rub her face in. But yeah, no. However, I mentioned Cordelia's on-set personality. I read an article while I was doing research for this bit. Cordelia actually came out against one of the crew members on the Buffy set, saying that they were using their power dynamic to intimidate some of the cast members into like feeling uncomfortable.
Oh no! In the 90s?
In the 90s?
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
I don't think they did that kind of thing.
So yeah, she has since come out saying that one of the crew members made her feel uncomfortable to the point where she couldn't fully get into her character while they were watching on set.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. It's the 90s.
So it goes to show that her off-screen personality seems to be quite timid and easily scared by shit. Well, not easily scared by shit, but easily like sort of put in an anxious state by people watching her, which in her personality on screen is like a more confident character.
Yeah.
So hey, it just goes to show she's a great fucking actor.
Good actress.
Yeah.
Good
'Cause
actress.
even in the eye of awkwardness and the watching director, and she was still able to portray a confident
No,
person.
she should have got more roles after this.
Yep.
It's a shame, whatever she did.
And as far as the age checked out, I watched a recent interview with the character that plays Buffy on Tonight Show, and basically looks the same.
Oh, she's a stunner. Sarah Michelle Gellar is an absolute stunner.
Fucking awesome. All right, turn her off. Let's get into the next section. So far, so good. We planned that. Now,
here we go.
we planned that from the last episode.
It doesn't seem like we planned it, but we planned it.
Now, this is an interesting part for the next section of the podcast. I have developed 10 questions that I want you to ask each other. Now, the secret behind this one is fairly quick answers and roll through it. The format is, Cameron, you ask Jeff. I've got this written on a piece of paper. Cameron then hands the sheet of paper to Jeff. You ask the same question back. Okay? So we're going to start out now. It's 10 questions. I am going to start with Cameron. You start with question number 1.
Okay, quick answers, Jeff. You ready? Would you kiss Marky in a dark room?
Why?
What's the reason?
Why did I start with you, Cameron, you fucking clown? That's not the first one. This fucking...
Oh, you fucking... Oh, that's just new, man. I'll make no difference. If it's like, I mean,
Dude, we're not going to beat that. Why would you fucking close on that? That's at least question 8.
Well, I was worried I wouldn't get the last question.
as well, you know. So
Okay, you ready? You ready? I'll give you the real one. Given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest?
Like today would be different to like 5-10 years ago, but today...
Are we talking to you 5-10 years ago or today?
No, like today, but like I'm just thinking how much I've changed, the way I think and what I like.
Anyone in the world. There's a lot of people. What is it, 8 billion of us?
Man, give me Jerry Seinfeld, you know.
Jerry Seinfeld?
It's a good,
answer.
it's a good
Good
choice.
choice.
Give us a reason why. Why would you take Jerry?
Learn,
Oh, yeah, he could teach you some shit.
you know.
Fuck
learn.
yeah.
Definitely.
Even if you didn't ask him to teach you, just being in his presence,
yeah.
you would learn.
Yeah.
There's no doubt he
Yeah.
would watch sets and have so many notes.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
he'd just be like, oh,
You'd
here.
have more notes than the set.
Yeah, exactly. He'd be like, you know where you're really bad? Everything. But here's a rewrite.
I tell you what, if you ask me, we're going one
Yeah,
off.
one each.
One off.
Because if you asked me, say 5 years ago, I might have said like Warren Buffett
Oh, yeah.
or something like that. You know, like
Jeff's
he's
all
an
about the bottom
investor.
dollar.
Yeah.
Well, it's just because I used to work in that area, right? So it's
Former investment
It's just because
banker.
Whatever your current interest
Yeah,
is what
exactly.
you'd want to
Yeah.
learn from.
Yeah, for
All
sure.
right, now read that again.
Are we going 1-1 or are we going 1, 2, 3? You know?
How about this? Just answer it yourself. You know what
Yeah.
the question is.
No, I can ask you, given the choice of anyone in the world, whom would you want as a dinner guest?
As a dinner, see, I'm all about I want the food.
Yeah.
I want a cook.
Yeah.
I want a chef.
Yep.
I'm taking like Marco Pierre White, I reckon.
Fuck. Okay.
Because he taught all the best chefs in the world.
Yep.
Jamie Oliver, Gordon
All
Ramsay,
So
everybody.
So you're gonna make your guest?
Yeah, fucking
Do the
oath.
cooking.
Well, they want. That's what they do, but they want to do that. You
Yeah,
know,
okay.
if I say come around for dinner and I've got Hungry Jacks on a spread, they're going to say no thanks, mate.
Yeah.
Let me cook something grouse
I
up for you.
fucking I do good shit.
Yeah.
Jeff, question
Okay.
2.
Would you like to be famous? Yes or no?
Yeah, fucking oath.
In what way?
In all the, I think it's a lie. I get most people are like, oh, I wouldn't want to be famous, but it depends what kind of industry you're working. The one
Yeah.
we're trying to get into,
Yeah.
of course, I want to be famous.
Fuck yeah.
I want to be big. I want people to know who I am. I want to be able to put up a gig by myself and sell out 100 tickets.
Yeah.
I'd like to sell 50 tickets.
Yep.
20 tickets. So to be famous would be sick.
Dean Delray says this. He's like, all you need is 1,000 loyal fans and you can live off comedy.
Yeah.
But they need to be loyal enough, as in they buy your merch,
Yeah,
they subscribe to your Patreon,
Yeah.
they donate. But he said the number is 1,000
Yeah.
Yeah.
because as prices go up, their wages pay for. So, like, basically, it's not a monetary value; it's a fan base
Yeah,
value.
yeah.
So that he reckons the golden number's 1,000.
1,000
But
people.
he reckons that to get 1,000 loyal fans, you need 1 million followers. That's the percentage. Of
That probably makes sense.
yeah.
It's like you look at someone's Instagram who's got 500,000, followers, but then you look at how many likes they get.
Yeah.
It's not 100,000. It's 10,000.
Yeah.
So it's like that's the kind of ratio. And of that, like you're saying, of those 10,000, 1 in 10 will probably support you.
Yep.
Really.
Actually come in.
Yeah.
Yep.
So it's like that's the kind of stuff.
All right.
Give me a squism. Would you like to be famous? And in what way, young Jeff Shen?
Yes, but I'm okay if I'm not. In what way? I think obviously comedy, but I think more around maybe to be known by people who are not comedians but want to. But more, I think more people who are like in like maybe the corporate world where they hope to have better social skills or better networking, better presentation skills, and maybe because they know what I've done and they like to maybe hope to learn from me. I can teach them, help them.
You want to be a guest speaker?
Yeah, exactly.
He wants to be a corporate gig only comedian.
Well, don't we all?
Yeah.
That's where the money is. To be fair income, that's the stuff.
You're right, Jeff.
Yeah.
You said you don't do finance anymore. Dude, you've turned comedy into finance. Yeah. Like you've found the most efficient way to make money from comedy.
Like in that scene in the Avengers where they open up the portal and all come through. That's what Jeff wants to do with finance and comedy. He wants to open up the portal and be the only one who gets through.
You'd be surprised, because especially in like the investment industry, like people are extremely competitive, right?
Yeah,
like career-wise, extremely competitive. Now everybody's really smart. So how do you get a leg up above your colleagues? Is through soft skills. And I caught up with my mentor a few months ago, and he's like really up there in the investment world, and he was saying, he wants to be better. And then he was like, he's not going to do stand-up comedy because he has a family of kids, but he's saying should he do like things like Toastmasters or improv class. And I suggested to him to do improv because it's less safe. So
put yourself in
out
of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
That reminds me of this saying, I've said it on the podcast before: the seed in the shade doesn't grow.
Yeah.
So if you put yourself into, like, although being in the sun is uncomfortable at first, you need that to grow. Yeah. Next question.
All right. Number 3. Before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say?
Making a telephone call?
Yeah, before you call someone up, do you like think about what you're going to say?
Okay.
And if you do, why?
Today?
Yeah.
No, but like 15 years ago, when you try to call up like a chick that you're really into, you think for like 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And then you make a question, she doesn't pick up,
Yeah.
So like 20 minutes.
Wait, when you pantomime a phone, why do you use your fucking... What the fuck?
Isn't that how you...
Why do you... when Jeff pantomimes a phone, he uses his thumb and ring finger.
That's wild.
That's some gang symbol.
I'll tell you an interesting thing about that pantomime, right? And this is a bit I'm working on. But young kids now, when they don't say, I'm going to make a phone call. They say, I'm going to make a phone call.
Oh, weird. They use the whole hand.
Because it's a smartphone.
Yeah.
It's a flat, they never used a pickup telephone.
Yeah.
And that's what they do. Oh, yeah, I'm just going to make a call.
Yeah.
That's wild. Like, that's evolution.
Yeah, that is. Evolution. That's the new generation.
Yeah, these little scumbags.
Fuck yeah. So, like, soon they're going to be like, I'm going to make a phone call with the Google Glass. And they'll just stare really blankly. Like they're looking for Google Lens.
Yeah.
It's like this comedian said, like, before we had phones, what was the leg twitch? Did we still get the leg twitch?
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, so what is the evolutionary advancement on the eye twitch? Like, are we going to go like, I think I just downloaded, like, Fast and the Furious 14.
Yeah.
Oh, wait, no, my eye was just twitching.
See someone who blinks a lot, they'll be like, what are you downloading?
Before making a telephone call, do you ever rehearse what you're going to say? Why?
Nah.
What about 15 years ago?
Nah.
You just straight up, you just call and work
I just call and see.
You improv your calls.
No. Yeah.
Really?
I'll tell you a funny thing I did recently, but I have this thing, and ABC's probably going to come for me on this, but I don't care. It's hilarious. Okay. ABC get me to ring up all the time to be on this thing called Chef's Corner on the radio.
Yeah.
And they ring me up all the time. Can you come on Chef's Corner? And I always say, like, nah, I don't want to do it. No, I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
So they ring me up. So one time they're like, I say, yeah, I'll do it. That's cool. I'll do it. And then I when they ring back up, I give the phone to my girlfriend and I say, "Here, you talk to them." And like they know my voice, and so like she's just running through these things. And when the guy, because it's live radio, when he first answers, he's like, "Oh yeah, we've got Cameron Ribbons," and she goes, "Hi, how you going?" And he sort of goes, and in the middle of her being on the phone, the woman who's hooked me up through ABC texts my phone number and says, "Who's on radio right now? Is this Cameron?"
How did the call go?
The call it was meant to go for 10 minutes, went for about 3 minutes before they hung up on us.
Fuck.
And then immediately the producer called me back. My girlfriend answered the phone again, and she's like, "Cameron?" And then my girlfriend said, yeah, it's Cameron. She's like, and the producer just goes, "Oh, okay. See ya, Cameron." Like she's clicked.
Defeated.
It's so good, but on live radio.
Dude, inside the ABC.
Yeah.
Shout out to the ABC. Thanks for having me on the show.
It's so funny.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
All right, well.
That's so ironic because like you could have a Cameron sounding like a girl.
Yeah, well, that's what I said.
Right?
I said the exact same thing.
They never met you.
No, exactly.
They've never heard you.
No, the radio host had.
Yeah.
But they must have said, like, on the thing, it must have said Cameron, like, owner. They must have used, like, Mr. Ribbons or something like that. And then when a girl come on the phone,
Which
they were
you
like,
still could.
well, you
At
could.
the ABC,
That's true.
definitely could have
All right.
a
We're
Mr.
getting in the weeds now, Jeff. I like this. We're getting in. Talk about. No,
question number 5.
we're the seed in the shade now, baby, because we're out in the sun. We're uncomfortable.
We found a way to grow in the dark.
Jeff Shen, bringing it to the podcast.
Number 4.
Go on.
What would constitute a perfect day for you?
What would constitute a perfect day for me? A ripper gig, first of all.
Yep.
You know, like just a good day that leads up to a good gig. I've been thinking about this lately, like, you know, when you do them gigs where there's like 60, 70, 80, 100 plus people and you do really well.
Sure.
It's like, I've been trying to think of it like doing smaller open mics where there's 5, 6 people. You've got to do like 10 for them and then you get one. So you do 10 tiny little gigs where you barely get any laughs because there's 8 people there.
Yeah. But
then you do one big gig, you're like, that one was for me.
Sure.
That's what keeps you going. You're now what I realize what I've been working on is going.
Yeah.
So a good gig at the end of the night where you just get up, do your 10 minutes, rip, get off.
I still think the best day that I've ever had was when I opened for Stanhope. Like, that's probably the best day of my life.
Yeah.
And it's literally that, because comedy is my life at the moment, and that was the pinnacle of my 5 years.
Yeah,
Exactly.
All worked up to that one
That
moment.
1 5-minute set.
Yeah.
Can you believe I worked a year for every minute of that set?
Comedy, baby.
I believe it. Yeah.
Comedy.
Yeah.
That would
good,
scare
that's good.
off like new people trying to get into comedy.
And that's why it's so good if you finally make it.
Yeah.
It's literally because it's a fucking 10 or 15 year apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Like,
marathon,
people don't become builders because it's a 4-year apprenticeship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're just wading through it for so long.
Yeah.
And it's the journey that matters, I reckon, for sure.
Confucius says.
Confucius is fucking hell getting all fortune cookie on us here, Jeff.
All right, Jeff. What would constitute a perfect day for you?
So something different to what you said.
Okay, you go.
I'd go with like, and I rarely get this, but if it's a day where I'm just in the flow, just writing it out, fleshing it out, writing, and you see things so clearly, like why it wouldn't, like I'm talking about writing comedy here.
Yeah.
Why it works and why it's not working, and just come up with all these ideas. That would be like an amazing.
So planning the perfect.
Yeah.
There you go. Between the 2 of you,
Yeah.
you got the perfect
We got
day.
one perfect day between 2 of us.
All right, let's punch through the last few.
All right, you
we
ready?
got the homie coming over soon. So
So yeah, cool.
Number 5. If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know?
Oh man,
Does he gain citizenship?
already have. I don't want to give away too much personal information, but yes, I already have citizenship. But I didn't say which country. Maybe look, probably like where my last day will be, I reckon.
When your last day will be. So when you die.
On Earth,
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, because...
You want the expiry date.
Yeah, because you know what? Between now till your last day, that's up to you. You could change your own journey and fate at any time you wish to. But you know, one thing for sure is one thing certain in life, obviously tax and whatever. But it's just like when, yeah.
Fuck yeah, he's expanded on the fortune cookie.
Yeah. We're getting deeper and deeper. He's just
future is what you make it.
Pulling them out of his brain and cracking them open.
His brain is a fortune cookie.
Cameron, if a crystal ball could tell you the truth about yourself, your life, future, or anything else, what would you want to be? What would you want to know?
You know what I want to, and I'm doing this with my cousin and his wife. We've got a burger tally going, just to see how many burgers you eat in a year.
Yeah.
Just like, I don't know. So I guess I'd like to know, in the end of my life, how many burgers total I've eaten. Right. And I'd like a tally of each year. What was my highs? What was my lows?
Dude. And that becomes your new expiry date?
Yeah.
You're like, I better not have this burger because I'm about 5 off dying, so I'm going to wait.
Yeah, there's a total amount. And they're like, once you hit that amount, that's actually your death point. That's when the cholesterol gets to you. But that's what I want to know, the total amount of burgers
I've eaten. You get it within one burger and you just never have another one and live forever.
I'd like a breakdown. Chicken burgers, beef burgers, brisket. I'd like a full analysis.
Heel, the Samson's long hair. This can't have one more
burger. People are just tempted. I'm driving past every McDonald's just white knuckling the steering wheel. Like, God, I'd love a Big Mac right now.
Cameron, is there something that you've dreamed of doing for a long time? Why haven't you done it?
I mean, what about getting a go at those kissable lips of yours?
No. No, it's you, not me, you.
Something I've dreamed about for a long time.
Don't rope him in.
I need to, though.
It's a personal fantasy, dude.
With that, I don't need to know of. What else you're thinking,
Bring it back. Bring Angel, but you're my angel, Jeff.
Okay, answer the question.
Something I've dreamed of for a long time. I'd like to crip walk.
Yeah.
I used to be able to do it when I was like a lot younger, and now I've been like trying to get back into it. Yeah. But I realized that I haven't done it in so long that my feet just don't do what they used to do.
Yeah, Ed Sheeran.
Yeah. So
your legs don't work like they used to. You can sea walk to Ed Sheeran. Two cultures collide.
It's back to the Jeff Shen, the portal. He wants to merge.
He opened it.
That's what I got to get back. That's what I'm dreaming of doing. Getting back into the crip walking. Righto, Jeff. Is there something and can we get away from the fortune cookie?
All right.
Is there something you've dreamed of for a long time? Why haven't you done it?
I would love to do more sailing.
Yeah.
Haven't done it. Like, costs a lot of money.
But true.
Okay.
On your own sailboat?
But like
Sydney to Melbourne.
Like maybe just sail out to ocean and then maybe do some fishing and then come back to shore.
You like fishing?
Like that. Yeah.
Jeff's fantasy is to be a poor old Asian.
Yeah.
Go fishing in the ocean.
I thought you would hate boats by now.
No, I appreciate it.
I'm not that one,
I appreciate you coming over, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff. Yeah. No, it's good.
Right.
You've really filled the silence between Cameron and I talking. Yeah.
Jeff, what is your greatest accomplishment in life?
Okay. This is a fortune cookie.
Yeah, no, you deserve a fortune cookie on this one.
Yeah. I think, so obviously we'll do comedy here, right? I think all of us, the fact
I don't know if that's obvious, but yeah.
Yeah. But after university, I studied this thing called like the CFA. Oh, it was crazy hard.
Yeah.
I never think I passed, but somehow I passed. Yeah.
That's
so put into perspective, it was one exam per year. You study for the entire year.
Yeah.
And you do that one exam. If you fail, whatever you did that year, doesn't matter, you repeat. And there's 3 levels. And you have to pass one level to get to the next level.
Yeah.
And it was like an
It's like
investment. exam.
Scientology, yeah.
Yeah, it's like Scientology. Yeah, but real. Yeah,
How dare you?
it's the joke.
Go,
Yeah,
pissed
but I
off the
never thought
ABC.
you know, whatever. Yeah.
That's good, man.
So it's three
3
years. So you got 1 year, one exam,
one
1 year,
level per year.
And you
if
did
fail,
all
you got-
3?
yeah.
You did, holy shit.
and you nailed it every time.
Yeah.
didn't
And
you?
then, but the pass rate was like 30-40%.
Oh wow.
But then there's also this thing like it's like a what do you call it, I forgot the word, but basically it is I think it's called a sampling bias. No, it's not. Basically it's people who really want to do it will do it. So people who are wanting to work investment will do it. So it's already filtering out people who will never do it.
Yeah.
It's people who really want to do it. And
Okay. So basically,
It's like comedy.
it's
Yeah.
it's the uni version of comedy.
Yeah.
It's basically the uni version of if you believe in yourself, you can achieve anything. Is that what you would say, Jeff? If you were to summarize it?
yeah.
If you were a fortune cookie?
and also it sort of like made me really benchmark how hard I can work. I mean, I never worked harder in those 3 years than ever. Lost 2 girlfriends because of it.
Oh,
Oh shit.
Yeah.
what you got? So you got to a show where you had to pick.
I had to study so much, and I can't spend time with them.
Yeah.
And they got upset and just.
And you said, "See
never
you
didn't
later.
work out.
This is more
So
important."
Well,
3
like they said,
years,
see you
3
later, you know?
exams, 2 girlfriends.
Yeah, something like that.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
One hard motherfucker.
Literally.
Yeah.
You know, no girlfriend.
Yeah, no girlfriend.
He's hard constantly.
2 blue balls.
What is the greatest accomplishment of your life, Cameron?
It's a great question, Jeff. You're an excellent interviewer. I love you. I'd probably say just maybe when I bought my house.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's like not much I think about now, but like at the
In
time.
hindsight?
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
at the time. Well, at the time, I mean, it's even worse now. But housing prices just seemed to be going up and up and up, and I was like, this is going to be unattainable.
Yeah.
That's what everyone was thinking.
Yeah.
And then when I got it, I was like,
Yeah. You bought in Queen, you're like, yeah, this is attainable.
no, I got Charmwood. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And I was like, like you don't think about it now. Now it's just a house.
Yeah.
That's kind of what
But it's
happens.
still, like, that's still something I haven't achieved. So,
Yeah.
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 And you
That,
bought it without government support
Yeah, I bought it just by myself.
yeah.
and without parents' money
Yeah, just by myself.
That's
It's one
good,
out.
man.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a fucking mad.
and without inheritance.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Just.
He's like my tax agent right now. See all the levels he just went through?
He's reporting.
He's like, and how much cash did you
Wanna make
use?
sure
And
you
what
know
did you
it's
get
He's
from the
not used to
bank?
being on recording without asking personal questions. Yeah.
Golly.
You can turn your wire off, Jeff. I'll
Yeah.
just send it to you after.
Cameron,
Yeah.
when did you last cry in front of another person? By yourself?
So both.
Oh, I haven't cried in front of anybody in a long time. Years. Not since I was a kid, I reckon. Easy.
Yeah.
I never cry.
Yeah.
What about by yourself?
When's the last time I cried by myself? That wouldn't have been that long ago. That probably would have been maybe last year, I reckon.
Yeah.
I cried by myself.
And be tear of joy or tear of...
No, if I get really super stressed, I
Yeah.
can take a lot of stress.
Yeah.
But sometimes I just get so fucking stressed.
For
Yeah.
example.
Like, it's mainly with work.
Yeah.
I'm so
Yeah,
stressed
yeah,
at
yeah.
work and I'm trying to balance this thing, trying to balance that thing. And you get
You
to...
see an order of 1,000 people come in and
Yeah.
start
I
crying.
just cry. I just cry. I just cry. I think
Well,
about
that's your-
and then I think about that dollar amount, and then they change to tears of joy.
So when you reply with a crying emoji, it's
Yeah.
normally real.
Yeah, I'm really crying.
I can tell when you're with someone else or not.
Yeah. That's if somebody says, "Can you come over to the pub this weekend?" and I reply crying emoji. That's because I'm just stressed about it. I'm freaking out.
Is it you're crying because you're not with someone else? Like you get lonely, so you're like a puppy when you leave them in the house?
Yeah. Ooh, that's me. I cry like that.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy, like, how much that question brings out. Like I was running through it, and I'm thinking, dude, my nan died like fucking 5 years ago. She passed away. She's in her 90s. She had a good run. She meant a lot to me. All from my childhood. She's always there, you know, everything. And I was one of the pallbearers. And I'm so walled off emotionally that I put the coffin on the they got like seatbelt straps over the thing,
over the grave,
and then they lower it down, right? So I put it on there, and I just, like when you get a taxi and you get your bags and shit out the back, you like tap on the boot to let them know they can head off.
Mm-hmm.
I just sat that down there, gave it a couple taps, and just fucking walked back into the crowd. like that. I just was just like,
catch it, Nan.
yeah, where's the reception at? Like, I just fucking couldn't. Like, that's how walled off emotionally I am. And the thing is, I was a pallbearer for my grandfather not but a month before.
Yeah.
And did the same fucking thing.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I was given a rose to put on top of the... When they finally lowered it, people were throwing roses in. And I kissed the rose before I threw it into the thing. And I was beating myself up later because I'm like, why'd you kiss the rose? That's some weird shit.
Yeah.
That's how fucking walled off emotionally I am. I'm just like, you shouldn't have kissed the rose. People are probably looking at you strange because you did that.
That's like when my nan died, just on that.
Yeah.
My nan died, didn't cry, and she was fairly old, but she wasn't that old. She's like 75 or odd or whatever. And she died, didn't cry, not at any point, not when I was there when she died, like I was in the hospital and went to her funeral, all that. And then it wasn't for 6-8 months later. And then just in my brain, I just went, I'll never talk to that person again. Like, that's just it. Like, I'll never, there's no, because we used to just call each other up every now and then. There's no more conversation.
Yeah.
And then I cried.
Yeah.
I was like, and that really freaked me out. I was like,
that's a weird bit.
Yeah.
Weird bit. Dude, that's a weird bit.
Yeah,
that
that's a weird bit.
All right.
Young Jeff. When's the last time you cried in front of another person or by yourself?
Yeah. I think when I was in secondary school before university, when my mom hit me. Yeah, that was the last time, I think. Pretty sure.
That was the last time you let her have power over you?
Yeah, yeah. She still has power, but less physical, yeah?
He's worried his mum's going to watch this. You've still got the power, mum.
Don't worry, this isn't available outside of Belconnen.
No, I thought you were going to say this is not available outside of Australia or something,
I don't know, man. Maybe it isn't. Yeah. No, all right. We're gonna, because we got to let the homie in. We got a friend of the show around. We're gonna take a break there, let him in, and then we'll do the last two and finish with your story. So we'll be back here in a second after this break. Please flip over the tape to side B to hear the rest of this podcast. All right, and we are back. Okay, we are getting to the final couple questions of the 10 questions that I have selected for you guys. Now, Jeff, let's go on with question number 9.
Yep. Cameron.
Jeff.
Now, I think this doesn't apply to you, but what, if anything, is too serious to be joked about?
Not a thing.
Yeah,
it's a free game. It depends how you say it. It depends the way you're saying it.
If you offend someone, you just didn't say it how you thought it. You should say it.
Yeah. Everyone's got their own temperament towards every single thing. So it's like to say to somebody, "Here's things you can joke about. Here's things you can't." Well, that's you.
Yep.
You say you can't joke. That's fine by me. I'm okay with anybody saying that. I don't like to hear it. Well, that's cool.
Yep.
But I'll mate in the back. He'll laugh about anything.
Sure.
So he's got a different temperament.
It's like Bill Burr says, as soon as I say something, it's not pure anymore because you get it in your head. You cut it with your childhood, your experiences, your life, and now it's not what I said, but it's your version or your perception of that thing, and then you act as if I've said it in the way that you perceive it and not pure how I said it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and the same question.
Yeah, same back to you, Jeff.
Yeah,
if there's anything too serious to joke about, what do you reckon?
It would depend on the audience, I reckon. Depending on the room, depending on the audience. But I do think more controversial topics takes longer time to sort of craft because you're really need to get the setup correct so people are not misled into thinking you're some fucking...
All right, here's a same line but different. Do you think there's too soon to joke about something?
Yeah.
You think there is?
For sure, because that bus crash that the... where was it?
In Newcastle,
New South
in
Wales.
Greta.
Yeah.
Well, by the time this comes out, it's very fucking non-relevant. But
Yeah. So, Like I
Not
was
current.
at a thing, like a dinner with some people, and then something about the person's like, oh, I was catching the bus to go somewhere. Finally got to where I wanted to go to.
Yeah.
And I said, oh, well, that's because it wasn't a coach.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, like, you can just got them, you know? It
Jeff,
was just-
that's probably the funniest thing you've ever said.
Yeah.
Yeah, anyway, so.
I don't know
That
why.
was too soon for
Jeff,
them, yeah.
Jeff, you've just done your whole bit
Yeah.
on the pot. You've just wasted a bit. That's fine, mate.
I'm glad you could save that material for the show. You waited until an hour in
Yeah.
to get funny, man.
And
but
well,
you
he's
fucking
warmed
got
up.
there,
He's
yeah.
warmed up.
It takes him a
Warmed
little
up.
while. See, it's not too soon. It's when to do it.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
think an hour is about the sweet
By
spot.
too soon, he means in the first hour of
Yeah.
the podcast.
See, that's why you like specials that go for an hour and a half. Because
Yeah.
last half an hour
He's
you're
like,
warmed up.
oh, this now it's going to rip.
Yeah,
As soon as it
yeah.
hits an hour 10, he's like, here we go. This is when they use their best material. Young Jeff, your house containing, you own a house or an apartment? You live in a house or an apartment?
Of course, a house.
Jeff, the house you of course own, containing everything you own, catches fire. After saving your loved ones and pets, you have time to get in
Why do
there
I have to?
and save one item. What would you get and why?
Computer.
Well, it's got all your jokes on it.
Oh, it's got everything, like your life, I reckon. Like, I mean, I assume you have your phone with you, but I reckon the next important thing to your phone is your computer. Because I haven't been saving everything in the cloud. A lot of stuff is just in the hard
You're
drive.
against the cloud.
Well, actually, is it in the cloud? Maybe it is in the cloud.
Probably is in the cloud. Everything
But
kind of
it would be
naturally
good to have
backs up
your
into the
computer.
cloud.
Yeah, because it's just, I think that's like part of everyone's life these days.
Having
Electronic.
spoke about this in a previous episode, I accidentally, and dude, it was just before you were on the show last time, I accidentally wiped one of my hard drives, and I have multiple. This was the one that contained all of my childhood photos and everything.
Yeah.
And do you know what my first thought was when I finally, because my computer crashed and I was trying to rebuild it and I pointed it to the wrong drive, and then I was like, oh fuck, I just wiped one of my data drives, not my operating system drive. So I finally rebuilt it all because I had to wait for it to rebuild to see which one I fucked.
Yeah.
And my initial thought was, oh, thank fuck, it's only my childhood memories and the comedy's still okay.
One's clearly more important.
yeah. Jeff, your turn.
Cameron.
Yes, Jeff. Yes, Jeff. Please give it to me, Jeff.
That's good. That's good.
What's good,
No,
Jeff?
You'll read it out loud.
Kissing Marky was never part of the...
Is that what's good about this, dude?
Just double check it. That's good, man. All right.
He's more relieved about that.
Yeah. He's like, damn, that was an awkward question, Marky. Why did you put that in?
Yeah.
Jeff, you never told us when you cried by yourself.
Yeah.
Oh.
Nice try. You thought that was
didn't do
good
it.
that you didn't have to talk
You
about
said
it.
you said it was
You said when
like
you...
when your mum hit
Yeah,
you.
when was your
Yeah,
last-
like something sentimental, you know.
What, you lost your computer in a house fire?
Yeah.
No, I know if you
Come on, man.
maybe getting paid the first time in comedy.
That make you cry?
I think I did.
Well, it hasn't been paid yet. So.
No,
He's trying to drop
I haven't been
hints.
paid by Marky. Yeah.
Yeah. You're getting paid for this, too.
I'll just tell you. I've got these two guitars,
Yep.
electric guitars. One signed by Green Day by all the members,
shit.
and one signed by the Disturbed.
Yeah.
All the members.
Yeah.
And I got them off a guy who in Canberra who found out his missus was cheating on him with his best friend, and they were like the wedding gifts.
Oh,
She got him, and so he sold them both to me for like $100.
Whoa.
And fully authenticated.
Yeah. I've got the certificates and everything, so I'd probably save them.
Okay.
Even though, like, they're not worth a great deal, but they're just cool.
All right.
They're
No, I
just
said one, though. So Disturbed or Green Day?
Oh, I'd probably save Green Day.
Yeah.
I love Green
So
Day.
the missus.
I'll
found
give
out-
you 50 for the Disturbed one.
That's what it's worth, apparently. That's what I got it for.
Can I up it to 60?
Bidding war. Bidding war.
Oh,
Here we
fuck.
go.
All right, here we go.
Wait, so the missus found out he's cheating, and then she gave him the wedding gift.
No, so they'd had their wedding,
Yeah.
and then like 3 weeks later, this is the guy.
Only 3 weeks?
Yeah, the guy
Oh,
told me the
shit.
whole story when I got there.
Now, you kind of lied. You got $100 you gave.
Yeah.
for that, but you had to listen to the story.
Yeah, but I wanted the story.
Oh, okay.
Like, I kept asking questions.
That's more authentic
Because
than the signatures.
when I went to pick him up, like, I was like, oh, I'll go here for the guitars. And he's like, oh, yeah, the guitars. And as soon as I grabbed him, he's like, yeah, my fucking whore ex-wife. And just launched. And I was like, oh, give it to me, brother. So get married. 3 weeks later, his wife, and like before she was his wife, was playing up on him with his best friend, who was also his best man.
Also the best man.
Also the best man. And he reckons, he didn't know, but he reckons she got it on with him at the wedding reception after they'd said their I do's. Because he's like, they both went missing like in the bushes for like an hour or two.
A bush fuck, dude?
A bush fuck. That's what kind of a level we were at.
Yeah.
A bush fuck with the best man.
Before. That's not, you don't get a bush fuck on your first time.
Oh yeah. And like he was selling everything. He had walls of like Funko Pops.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, a full wall like that full. And he's like, you can have them if you want, just give me like $50. Like from floor to ceiling, 8 feet across. And I was like, oh no, I couldn't do anything with him.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, I'm selling everything she's ever fucking give me. He was in like a brand new townhouse that he had to rent out because he just moved out from living with her. It was grouse.
That's insane, dude. It's the only time someone else has paid for my content for the podcast. You paid $100 to bring a good story to the table.
There's your story time, baby.
Now, after those questions, do you guys feel any closer at all? Do you feel like you've developed more?
I've always felt close to Jeff Shen.
Do you feel like you know more about each other?
Look, I already found out a lot about Cameron's previous life through his previous times on the show. I know about his used to be a traveling showman.
Yeah.
Oop.
And something, yeah.
So
we're close, bro.
I'm a sharer.
Close,
well,
brother.
let me tell you something. Those questions are, in fact, sourced from 36 questions to make 2 complete strangers fall in love.
Oh, okay.
So I selected 10 from those 36 to bring you guys closer. So for anyone out there that feels like they're closer, that is...
I loved him from the start. I love Jeff from the start.
All right. The home is finally here. I'm going to just pause this for a sec. We'll close with the story and then we're good. All right. Cool. Cheers.
He's out the door.
Come on, grab your friends. We're all...
I already forgot this one.
Okay. The fun will never end. It's...
Story time.
There we go. We're back now for story time. We got special guest on the show. It's Kai Fei. You just heard the jingle.
There you go.
Hey, returned from the dead. It is the Canberra legend, Kai Fei. They tried to hold him back, but he's back with a vengeance to listen to Cameron tell the story. So go
Marky
ahead.
just doubled his black quota.
There you go.
Here we go. I just became the most diverse Melconnen podcast there is.
2 Kooris and an Asian.
No, it's 2 Kooris and a cracker. It's an homage to fucking Benny Egmalise's tour, Koori and the Cracker. But all right.
No, I was also born in Malaysia, so I covered both of them. Just get rid of them. I'm just on here. You go down. Fuck off these 2. Fucking, I'm still taking. This is why I'm king.
I've had Kai on the show more than anyone else, and that's the reason. Because I was
Covers all bases.
You're a deconstructed Kai Fei.
That's true.
Fuck. All right, so Cameron, you sent me a message after the last podcast. It was like within a week of the last podcast, and you sent me this. Now I'm just going to read the because I made a note of it. I make all the notes on shit just to try and not let anything fall through the cracks. Yeah, so that's for when Jack Daniels finally sponsors the fucking podcast. It's funny, one of the early episodes of the podcast I had Kai on, and I had an actual beer sponsor, and Kai was like, can I drink something else, but like off camera? So like, I had the beers there, and every few minutes, Guy's like leaning over to take a sip off camera. So the beer that I had is like uncracked, sitting there in front of us while he's drinking something else. And that video's never been released, so maybe we'll use that for a secret one later. But you said to me, where is it? Oh, this is the big build-up.
This is build-up.
Yeah,
I mean, I know the story.
Yeah, you know the story. No, I've got to tell the audience. Next time I'm on the pod, remind me to tell the story about when the town thought I blew up my school and had a threesome with my teacher. Let's get into that.
All right. I'll prerequisite. I won't say the town name, but I'll prerequisite. It's a small rural New South Wales town out in the sticks. And to give everyone an idea...
Rhymes with...
It does rhyme.
Oh, fuck that. I have to cut that out. Editor's note.
And I was the only Aboriginal kid, not in the school, in the town. I went to boarding school, so I was the only one. So like, here's this school. I wasn't school captain. I wasn't up there. But so any kid would come to school, they'd be like, "Oh, school captain, they're now your little guidance. You show them around the school. That's cool." And when new Aboriginal kids would come, they'd be like, "Cameron, show them around." And I was just like, yeah, all right. And then when I got older, I was like, that's racist as fuck with that. They're like, stick the blacks together. They love each other. They love that kind of shit. Yeah. Oh, they know each other.
This is why I got Kai in, because I needed a witness for the story. I couldn't like put this out without like another person to verify it, dude. It's like it's like when you have to build a house down the south coast, you need an elder to check that there's nothing in the land that might be like, I couldn't like do this.
I confirm there are racists.
I was like, oh, it's all coming together so far.
All right, Kai, you can fuck off now. No, I appreciate being here.
When I was in school, I was not a good kid. Right, I was a fucking rat bag. We had these things. We had white slips and pink slips, and I can't remember which was which. But pink slip was like, you got kicked out of the class. You just got to sit outside the class, I'm pretty sure. And a white slip was like, you got to go to the principal.
Right.
And it was a mixed gender school, but we had 6 periods a day. Mm-hmm. And so me and my cousin had this competition. Who can get kicked out of class? Who can get kicked out of class the most?
Yep.
Right? So I averaged for a whole school term 5 white slips a day. Oh. So I got sent to the principal 5 times a day, and you just have to sit outside of his office. Out of 6, that's what I averaged. Fuck. It was ripping. We were
ripping in a tear.
Ripping, and we were just total rat bags. So that establishes just what type of kid they thought I was for the starters. I had 2 teachers try to fight me in class.
Oh shit!
In class, and I used to go and box my teachers after school. Yeah, pretty much at 15, 16.
Fuck yeah!
And so one
female
time,
teachers, or?
Oh, they can get it too. I was all about equality even in 2006. I identify as a woman. Bang.
For 30 seconds.
And so one time, my mum, it's school holidays. I'm in Cairns with my parents, and my mum gets this phone call, and she's like, "Oh, hey, Mr. Ribbons, how you going?" And she's like, "Yeah, good." And they're like, "We're just wondering, is Cameron with you?" And she's like, "Yeah, school holidays." They're like, "Oh, okay, that's cool. When did he get there?" And she's like, "Oh, like a week ago." And they're like, oh, "Okay." And they're like, "Is there any chance Cameron could have boarded a flight, perhaps early yesterday morning, flew to Griffith, and then caught a bus from Griffith to X town, and then could have got here and then did the reverse and flew back to you before you woke up this morning? This is true." And my mum's like, "What the fuck are you talking about right now?" Yeah. And they're like, "Well, someone has gone into the science wing of the building, turned on all the gas taps, and then rigged a phone up to explode it."
Holy fuck.
And had blew up a whole section of our school.
Holy shit.
And I was the only suspect. I was the only suspect out of the whole school. So they were ringing around like the lady who run the boarding house, like, "Where's Cameron?" Rang my parents. And they're like, "Oh, well, when he gets back in, he's got to come in for questioning." Like, they were dead set. They thought I did it. And I had thought about it, but I didn't. I didn't.
You respect the work of the person that actually did
I was like, hell yeah, that was a little terrorist attack. But it wasn't me.
That guy followed the steps.
Yeah. It was like the show The Blacklist. They bring in an expert to catch the expert.
Yeah, like you're a hacker, and they're like, "All right, you can work for the bank now."
They're like reverse engineer.
Yeah.
So that was the first one. So that's just what the type of kid they thought I was. And because I went to boarding school, and it's a boarding house, and the boarding house I went to only had about...
I want to see your black card, man. You holidayed in Cairns and went to boarding school.
No, I was a travelling showman. I worked in Cairns.
I'm starting questions.
For starters, we all went to this boarding house because it was the cheapest one in the entire country. And we went to this boarding house And of the
That was
30,
a white card. He already said it.
and of the 30 kids in this boarding house, I was related to 27 of them. Right,
Holy
all
fuck.
show kids went to this one
Yeah.
specific book because it was so fucking cheap. Cost you nothing to go there.
Sure.
Cost you literally nothing. The government would give everyone's parents like say $300 or $400 a term
Yeah.
for whatever, and that just went to the boarding house, and that was your payment. And so one night, me and my cousin, we're walking home from school, and our girl cousin says, "I'm going to this party tonight." And we're like, "A party? Fuck, why didn't we get invited?" She's like, "Oh, well, it's at the art teacher's house." And we're like, and this art teacher, she was about 27-ish, mad as a fucking cut snake.
Yeah.
She was insane. You knew she was insane. And we're like, "Oh, fuck, we didn't get invited." And she's like, "Oh, well, you've got to go back to the boarding house and get locked up. I'm staying at my friend's place tonight." So me and my cousin go back to the house, and we're stewing on it, fucking sitting there going, fuck this, we're gone, fuck this shit. So we wait till the dead of night, till it's pitch black, and there was all alarm systems around when you open an emergency exit.
Yeah.
So we had to like climb up over a roof, get out, like we're fucking CIA and this shit. You know, he lifted me up and then I lifted him up, snug out. I remember we're sprinting down the road towards her house singing Eye of the Tiger.
Yeah.
Right, because this is our Rocky moment.
Sure.
We've gone from zero to heroes.
Rocky like your lifestyle.
Get into her house, and this is the most memorable thing. The place is packed with drunk, like 16-year-olds. Everybody's smashed off this face.
Sure.
And she's got like an induction cooktop, you know, just the hot plate basically.
Yeah.
And she had just raw vine tomatoes just sizzling on it. No pan, just straight on it. There's smoke everywhere. And she just turned, like we open the door and she just turns to us with, and she's got this big potato masher in her hand.
Yeah.
And she goes, "You boys want any tomato soup?" And then just starts mashing these tomatoes as furiously as she can and just splattering shit everywhere.
Fuck like a champion.
And we're like, this is the place for us,
Fuck
baby.
yeah.
Fuck yeah. So get smashed. We have to sneak back to the boarding house, climb over the roof. As we jump down into the courtyard, there's the headmaster. And he's just like, "You boys are fucked."
Also what they called her.
Basically.
Yeah.
Because the main head lady wasn't there. She'd left for the night. That's why we snuck out. So he's like, "You boys are fucked." So he takes us into like the common room and he's like, "Yous are getting expelled. Yous are fucked." And me and my cousin are like, "Fuck, if we get expelled, we're in trouble. Our parents are going to fucking rip into us." So he goes, "You've got to cry." He goes, "If you cry, they'll feel sorry for us." So I go, "I can't cry." So he just cracks me straight in the nose and instantly brings tears. Like, I didn't, he just goes, "But," and he goes, "All right, we're sweet." So like comes me, I'm like, "I'm sorry," you know, putting on. So he goes, "All right, we'll leave it for the morning when the head lady's back. We'll see if you're getting kicked out." So the next day we get called into like the office and she goes, "Boys," the head lady's back. She goes, "I got a serious question to ask you." So we're like, "Fuck, we're fucked." She goes, "There's rumours getting around the town that yous both went to a party last night." And we're like, "Oh yeah, we did. We'll admit that." She goes, "The other rumour is that yous two had sex with that teacher at the same time." And we're like 16, and we both look at each other thinking, we're kings. Yeah. But we're so scared of getting kicked out that we're like, "Oh, no, we didn't do that. No, we didn't. I promise. So she's like, "You sure?" Because everyone's talking about it. All the kids from that party have told their parents that you did it. So we're like, "Oh, no, we didn't. So she's like, "Oh, I won't kick you out." Didn't kick us out. And then it wasn't until like later in the day, we're just kicking back on these lounges. And my cousin just looks at me and goes, "We could have been kings.
Yeah.
We could have been kings."
Take the knee.
Yeah.
Take the win.
And
Take the loss.
I thought back to it, like, I think back all the time, like, we should have said, we could have went back to that town any time in our lives, and then I would have went, "There's the kings of this fucking town."
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. And she got sacked, that teacher.
Well, she must have had sex with
She
someone.
must have done it with someone. They just blamed it on us.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, fuck, if you're going to take the fall, you may as well do the crime.
Yeah. We should have said, yeah.
Whoever thought tomato soup would be that big of a turn?
You just mash it. You want some tomato soup?
To be fair, dude, cooking on the hot plate with no other utensil is some meth head shit. Like, it's some fucking... The only times anyone ever uses just the hot plate is when they've run out of a lighter or they've... Like...
We're spoon broke.
Yeah.
She said that was her artistic expression.
Yeah.
She's the art teacher.
Oh, sure. Yeah, exactly. Fuck yeah, dude. Story time. That's the end of that. Hey, thanks everyone for being on the show. Thanks, Kai, for dropping in at the end.
No problem.
You can sign us out. So, we're up in the 90s now. Kai's going to come back for episode 100.
Yeah.
And we are going to
You'll have me.
That's it. You're welcome back for episode 100. After that, we'll see how we go. Cheers for everyone for tuning in, and I'll catch you next time. Cheers.
Thanks, Jeff.
Don't buy me a drink. Just name names. Yeah, right. Big Tony. You'll get fucking thrown out of the strip club with your floppy disk. All day. Make people feel shamed for shit all day.
Don't blow
Turn
it.
it into a hard drive. Yeah, right. You'll get fucking... We're here
Keep it simple. Count your money.
that they're not proud of. Just give me $10.
Click.
Did you hang up?
No, I just said click.